This is Dr. Megan, the Prednisone Pharmacist. Today, we have a special guest who has taken prednisone several times. She knows what it's like to suffer from prednisone side effects. But then, she found Nutranize Zone. Let's welcome Autumn from Canada. Tell us, Autumn, you have taken prednisone. What has your prednisone story been like? How high of a dose did you take, and how long were you on it?
So prednisone has been quite a roller coaster for me, I guess you could say. Last year, I was on a higher dose for my condition, starting at 40 milligrams, but tapering down each week. So for about 2 months. But this year, I was thankfully on a lower dose, starting at 25 milligrams, also tapering down each week. So for about a good month and a half.
Okay, so you've had two different experiences and you've gone from pretty high and you've been on it long enough to know how miserable it is, right?
Yeah.
So how did you find Nutranize Zone?
Yeah, so I found Nutranize Zone through your YouTube channel. I was looking for people like myself who had experience with prednisone, but happened to not only just come across your channel, but your amazing product in the process.
Gotcha. So once you used it, what did it help with?
Sure. So Nutranize Zone helped with a number of things for me, like the heavy insomnia. I would get maybe 4 hours of sleep at a night, if that. So it completely corrected my sleep patterns. Also, the hot flashes I would have from time to time, especially during the night. I was so relieved that those were gone. It leveled out my hunger cues. So since I can never reach to full satiety with being on prednisone, it corrected my appetite as well, and I could finally feel full. And it also helped with the chronic fatigue that I would normally feel throughout the day, where I would no longer have to take a nap every single day. And that was really bothersome to me personally because I'm not one that likes to take naps during the day. So I think that that really helped as well.
Wow, that's awesome. It's so many aspects of life you were able to feel normal again.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned in the review you left about Nutranize Zone that it helped your mood. So how did Nutranize Zone help your mood?
So mood was definitely the biggest change I noticed instantly, right away, actually. Was someone who has suffered with anxiety and depression at different points in my life. It honestly was hard for me to tell which moods were normal reactions during certain scenarios while on prednisone, like moments that would cause feelings of stress, anger, sadness, from then reactions to where moods were heightened more than usual because of the steroid. The only ones who would notice when my mood was abnormal were the people that I felt comfortable being around at the time. So like family members and of course my significant other that I live with. I can admit though, I kind of lost myself for a bit to where I couldn't remember who I was anymore, since we all know that the drug definitely messes with your brain chemistry. You kind of start to feel like you're going crazy. So once I started taking the Nutranize Zone, I realized that it was the prednisone that was making things as intense as people were trying to tell me, like from the beginning. Like my anxiety and depression never used to be as bad until I started the steroid. Then once I started taking your product, I felt like everything kind of leveled out a bit, because when you're on a heavy drug like prednisone, your moods are all over the place to begin with. So if you're already suffer with mental health issues, every feeling just heightens tenfold. But if you have something to help combat those mood swings, especially since you're already miserable as hell while being on the drug and you're going through enough as it is, depending on what your condition is as to why you have to take it, I honestly feel that you really have nothing to lose by taking a product that can help you feel a little bit more like yourself during such a stressful time in your life.
Oh, wow. Just what a testament that prednisone really is such a struggle. And if there's anything that can help, it's worth it, right?
For
So,
sure.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was also going to add too that, just to put it this way, that they always make jokes about it, but the roid rage that everyone talks about for like any type of steroid, it's definitely a real thing.
It is such a real thing. It's not just a joke, even though it's definitely a joke too.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing you'd mentioned on your review was the time and stress of having to do research on your own to make a product like this in comparison. So can you tell us about how this product helped you solve that problem?
Yeah, so the beauty with Nutranize Zone is, instead of it becoming overwhelming for you to do your research on your own with finding the best quality in products for your deficiencies, so things like vitamin A, C, D, calcium, magnesium, etc., this product, this, I guess, natural supplement has everything you need all in one. It targets every vitamin and mineral that your body would normally be depleted in while on prednisone. So with that being said, you're not spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on individual products. You're actually saving money in the long run. And you don't have to worry about forgetting to take a certain vitamin or mineral throughout the day, because now you have a morning and a nighttime pill that has you covered. So I like to think of it like a multivitamin, like a regular multivitamin, but in this case, it's a vitamin that's going to protect your health during a critical time in your life. And I'd also like to add too that sometimes Western medicine has to obviously step in when it's a life and death scenario. But for someone who is strongly passionate about holistic health, and I've been seeing a naturopath for years, I am very big on natural healing and homeopathic remedies. So I was instantly intrigued once I learned what Nutranize Zone was all about.
Wonderful. So in a sentence or two, what would you say to another person on prednisone about Nutranize Zone?
For someone who knows how it is with prednisone and what this drug can do to you both physically and mentally, I would say that if there is a product out there that can help ease your symptoms, even if it's a little bit, if not a lot, in order to make things less intense for you, that you should give it a try. As I previously said before, you really don't have a lot to lose, especially if you're in such a vulnerable state. It's definitely a godsend to have something like this, because no one apart from medical professionals or medical students even really knows what this drug is until you're one of those people that has to take it. And I can't tell you like the amount of times I've talked to friends about my personal health condition and explaining the measures that I've had to take over the years. One of the biggest things being having to take this temporary steroid and what it does to you, because they're always like, oh my gosh, that's horrible, I can't imagine. And I basically explained to them that it's not like you're having to take an antibiotic and then hoping that the symptoms go away quick enough so that you can stop taking it. You can't even stop taking prednisone once you start to feel better for your condition. You always have to taper down. So because you have to deal with this long process, you might as well find something that can help you during that time to make things a little bit easier on you.
Beautiful. That was not two sentences, but even better. It was perfect. Great. So you mentioned to me that you'd like to continue taking Nutranize Zone, even though you're no longer taking prednisone. Can you explain that for us?
Yes. So last month, I finally got another bottle set from you, Megan. So thank you again for that. I really appreciated it because I guess, so when I tapered off the first time, I ended up taking some sort of cortisol manager to help level out my adrenals, along with taking a vitamin D that I've been taking like on a regular basis since forever. But I just found that everything with Nutranize Zone has, if not, it's no different, if not better than any cortisol manager, because you still can be deficient in a lot of those vitamins and minerals from prednisone once you have stopped taking it. Your body is still trying to level itself out from where it used to be while you're coming off the drug. and you're going to have to go through those withdrawal symptoms regardless. So your mood swings may still be up and down. Like, things aren't going to be 100%. And depending on how long you've took it for, they usually say that it'll take the same amount of time to flush out of your system, if not longer. And we all know that everybody's body is different, but it also depends on the dosage. So you might as well take supplements, or in this case, a supplement you need to get you back to where you need to be. So I really think that it's great to at least take it a month after you've been off prednisone.
That makes a lot of sense. So what was your biggest fear before starting Nutranize Zone? And did it come true? And if not, what happened instead?
My biggest fear, I guess I would say, was probably any side effects, even though I knew that it was a natural supplement. Like, I thought that the melatonin that's in the nighttime pills may be too heavy of a dose for me, because I was on a lower dose this time compared to the first time I was on prednisone. So I figured, well, okay, people who are taking the supplement, this Nutranize Zone, they're the ones who truly need it the most, because they're all on very high doses of prednisone. So I just thought I would probably have problems to where I would still be experiencing the chronic fatigue, at least in the morning anyway, if not throughout the day. Like, I even thought about taking one pill to start in the evening, but I took 2 pills and I had no issues. And I was really happy and relieved about that, because I also ended up having like many solid deep sleeps after.
That's wonderful to hear you could get such restful sleep. So what if your best friend was prescribed prednisone? What would you say?
I would say be patient, and to remind them that it's only temporary, and that if there are people out there like yourself, Megan, who can help others with free information, or in this case, an amazing product as well, you should definitely try it out, because there isn't anything else like this. And especially here in Canada, you will never get a product as good as this. So anything you can do to try to help yourself is definitely worth it.
That's great advice. So that was for your best friend. What's your best advice for people who are already on prednisone?
I guess this is what I would say too. For people who are taking prednisone, whether it's short-term, long-term, whatever, even if you're taking Nutranize Zone, understand that it's not going to completely fix everything. Like, you're probably going to experience, and again, like I was saying, everybody's body is different, but you will most likely still have to deal with the moon face and your body being bloated and whatnot. Nutranize Zone, I think it can kind of help a little bit with that, but at the same time too, the best thing for you is to do other things like eating properly, so staying away from excess salt and refined sugar, working out as best as you can, but as regularly as you can, depending on your condition, drinking lots of water, etc. So doing all those things while taking Nutranize Zone, I think, makes a huge difference. Not just thinking, well, okay, this supplement is going to correct everything, because, you know, that's not the way anything works in life. You actually have to work at it. So I think that's the best advice that I can give to people.
What a wonderful summary. That Nutranize Zone can help, and it can support you and give back what prednisone has stolen, but the best thing you can do for yourself is to really take care as much as you outlined perfectly. So thank you, Autumn. I really appreciate your time and your sharing your experience, because it's really vulnerable to share how Nutranize and prednisone both make you feel. So thank you so much for your time today.
Of course, thank you.